Finland, where have you been all my life? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I spent last week in Lapland with my mother and it was amazing. We landed in this mystical, magical, majestic white wonderland and immediately started exploring, and it took me all of 5 minutes to meet the love of my life, which, as it turns out, is not a person, it's a snowmobile. Forget every cool thing I've ever done in my life. Riding a snowmobile through what can only be described as Narnia has to be the most amazing thing I've ever done. I have no further aspirations in life other than to own a snowmobile and to ride it every single day. I want absolutely nothing else out of life. My mom was less enthusiastic about these things. There was one point where I started to go a little bit sideways, and of course then the thing starts to tip, but it's not a problem, you just cut off the engine. However, to my mother, this was the greatest danger she's ever been in her life. So she started screaming bloody murder in my ear, like screams of pure terror, real fear. And I'm just like, woman, will you please keep quiet, because the Leaning Tower of Pisa is going to hit the ground before we are. But anyway, once the guide came to rescue us from what my mother considered certain death, I was able to explore a little bit, and then I did something I do every time I'm in a random place, and that is cartwheels. So at the beginning, we were going kind of slowly, very slowly, half a mile an hour slow. And I didn't really mind so much because it gave me time to look around and appreciate the views and the scenery, which blew my mind because everything was white. You couldn't tell the difference between the snow and the sky. I was just in this white box and you can't see where it ends. It was amazing, it was so cool. But after a while, going that slowly, I started to feel like I was aging faster, so I had to overtake. And that was awesome because that meant I was right at the front when these little baby reindeers came onto the track and started running in front of us with their little furry assholes bobbing up and down. It was very cute. But once they cleared the track, we could finally really go for it, and I flew. I'm telling you, I went so fast. I felt like no one in the history of ever has ever gone as fast as I'm going right now. I am the snow queen. Watch out, sound barrier, because I am about to break you. And then I checked how fast I was going. 45 kilometers per hour. 45! But yeah, I wasn't really holding back at all. And then when we stopped and my mother asked me, "Did you not hear me screaming for you to slow down?" I was like, should definitely say no. No, did not hear you. Also, when we started, during like the little pre-flight checks and safety exams, the guide was like, here we drive. No, he didn't speak like that. The guide was like, in Finland, we drive on the right. But once we got to the track, I couldn't help but think, if you wanted me to drive on the right, you shouldn't have put all the apexes on the left. I've mentioned before how I can't judge distance at all. Since I was now leading the pack, the guide was like, okay, cross the road and then go 150 meters and then wait. All right. I can do that. No problem. But yeah, I definitely need to find me a nice Finnish man who's willing to race me on a snowmobile every single day. Every single day. Ooh! Then at the hotel, of course, it's a Finnish hotel, so there's a spa, which means sauna. It was so funny to me to watch my mom behaving precisely the same way I did the first time I went to sauna. I was like, okay mom, you need to take off the bathing suit. you need to. They go naked. Also, look at all the signs. It says no bathing suit. She was like, I will not. I was like, okay, Ma, you kind of have to. This is just how it works. But it's fine. Like, everybody's naked. It's okay. She goes, yeah, honey, sorry, it's a hot. And then, of course, you get me running up and down naked because I've completely forgotten that that was me a few months ago. Then we had a reindeer safari, and if you are passionate about reindeer at all, I'm very sorry for what I'm about to say, but those things are not cute. Oh my gosh, from close up, that is not a cute animal. Its eyeballs bulge out of its head. It looks deranged, and those antlers. Most of them only have like half an antler left, and those that have more have these fleshy things hanging from it. Which reminds me, I did try a reindeer hamburger, because apparently that's normal here.
That's good. I like it.
Oh, and by the way, there was a lot of snow. There was so much snow, and it screwed with my South African brain, and it made me do a lot of weird things. Oh, and of course, no tourist trip to Lapland is complete without a husky sled ride or whatever. That was really so amazing. Oh my gosh. I absolutely adore dogs. But anyway, I drove for the first half and I'm really unfit, and sort of what you have to do to help the dogs on the uphills is you have to get off and push and run. There's a lot of things I don't want to do right there in that sentence. So anyway, I was very tired, and then when it came time for us to swap drivers, I was like, hell yes, mother, your turn. That was fun because I really got to enjoy the serenity, silence, the beautiful scenery, only to be interrupted every 2 minutes by my mother's screams of Kak! Ik ga niet af moer! Go! Woo! Woo! Maak ek gaan afval! Ek gaan val! Stop! Jy gaan die brake lê. Hierdie goeie het geen grip nie. Ek kan nie die ding ry nie. Ek sien nou vir jou. Ek kan. Nou amper gesloop. Kan nie weer 'n fok my voete afhaal nie. And then when it came to the uphills, she struggled so hard to get back up on the sled once she had gotten off that she just stopped getting off the sled entirely. There was this point where we reached this really steep uphill and she would not get off. All 6 dogs turned around in unison and looked at her like, you asshole.
Well, yo, you're gonna have to. Christine, it's about... Ja, ek kan nie. Ek gaan nie dit weer kan opkom en ek it's slow.
Come on, boys.
Thank you. Go. Ek kan nie sien die auntie gaan hulle nie. Kom stoot wel.
But yeah, overall, I think my mom had a really good first impression of Finland despite the perpetual danger she was in. But one of the things she found most amazing and that she kept pointing out is that she could not understand how you can put your coat down on a table and then that claims the table. That is now your table because your coat is on it. Like, if you had done that in South Africa, one of a few things could have happened. First, someone will sit down at that table and go, cool, free coat. Someone will just pick up the coat and put it on another table. Someone will pick up the coat, carry it over to you and say, here, you forgot this. Or someone not even interested in your table will just take the coat and be like, thanks. Finders keepers. Either way, that table is not yours and you're likely gonna lose your coat. But yeah, that's all. I'm really sorry I didn't make a video last week, but I really enjoyed my break. So I will see you next week with another video. Bye!